Hey folks, I want to introduce you to the Vermi Mini with the Zippered Harvest Panel. This is a nice medium-sized system that will work perfectly for most households. You got 1.6 square feet of surface area, so it can handle a lot of worms, and about 3 cubic feet of volume. So this thing can easily handle about 4 pounds of worms probably. It's a great system. It comes in a multitude of colors. You can pick from the standard colors of the wine, a teal, a blue, and a purple. But if you have some funky color you'd like, you can always special order. The top is made of a super durable, breathable nylon mesh. This thing's super strong. You're not going to rip this accidentally. Totally breathable. You can actually spray through it if you want to spray the system down right through the mesh. It has 2 zipper pulls, so you can basically open it on any corner you want. I use YKK zippers, which are high quality, high-end zippers, so there shouldn't be any issues with your zipper. There's also accessory straps on here if you want to tie on a pencil, a clipboard, a small flashlight or something. The Vermi Mini works very well on either this PVC stand or a wooden stand. There are instructions on the website on how to build either one of them. The wood stand will run you about $15. It's really simple to make. The PVC stand's a little bit more because these connectors are pretty expensive. You can buy them at Lowe's for about $2.30 a piece. But the PVC stand is going to cost you about $30 probably to build. If you do use the PVC stand, I include 4 butterfly straps that will hold the system perfectly well and uniform in the corners. It goes around each of the 1-inch PVC pipes on the corner and pulls the corners directly to the outer corner of the stand. If you decide to put it in a wood stand, you won't need the butterfly straps. I'll quickly explain how we came about the design for the VermiBag lineup of composting systems. We found that composting systems that are made of a breathable fabric would tend to dry things out too much. Especially if you live in an arid area, the sides of the bag would dry out and you'd be constantly adding moisture trying to keep the system wet. So we went with a breathable top and a breathable bottom, and the side material here is actually not breathable. So that tends to retain the moisture inside the system, but yet you still have oxygen flowing through the system from the bottom up through the top. We've also, on the seams between the colored section and the black section, we hand seal those seams with a water-based sealant, just to ensure that we don't, if you run the system really wet, we don't get staining and stuff onto the colors. It wouldn't be noticeable so much on the darker colors, but if you happen to pick a lime green or a hot pink VermiBag, you don't want it staining through here. It's going to be very noticeable if you get stains through it. All the critical joints on the VermiBag are also double stitched to ensure their strength and make sure they don't come apart. Another great feature about the Vermi Mini is the Vermi window. This is a perfect answer for teachers and parents that want to be able to show their kids how the vermicomposting process works without having to open up the bag, dig under a bunch of stuff to see what the worms are doing. You simply open up the window, and right there, all the worms are going to be concentrated around the food you put in there. If you stick some avocados or some squash or melons right here against the window, within a day, there'll just be hundreds and hundreds of worms on the other side here feeding on that. In a few days, it'll be gone, it'll turn into compost. When you're done looking at it, simply close the window. It's held by Velcro in place. It blocks all the light off and doesn't disturb the worms. One of the neatest features about the new Vermi Minis is the harvest panel. We now have a zippered harvest panel that we've been working on for over 9 months. The first design we did, we ran into some issues because the zipper was down a little bit lower and it didn't have any protection. And if the zipper is exposed to moisture and water for a long time, if you're in an area that has kind of hard water, it'll start to calcify. And so our zipper started calcifying really bad because we have fairly hard water, and it got almost impossible to open the zipper up after about 2.5 months. So we redesigned it. We put an inner liner in here that protects the zipper from the dirt and from the water. So to harvest this now, it's as simple as unzipping it, opening it up, harvesting. Now it's a good idea when you first open this up to invert the lid inside out to the back. And that way the zipper stays to the back side, so when you're pulling out castings, they might hit the edge here, but they're not going to get on the zipper itself. And if you notice too that the inner liner tapers down, so you don't have to worry about it when you open this up, all the castings aren't going to fall out. There's a restriction here, so there's an opening of about 6 inches down here that you can reach out, pull all the castings out that you want. Once you get all the castings out, clean this off, this area will loosen up and it will zip back up much easier, because right now it's full and taut, so it's a little harder to zip up. But once you've removed this castings, this whole area will be a lot looser and it'll zip back up very easily. Then just tuck the zipper back into its enclosure and you're ready for the next harvest. When you open this up to harvest it, you're inevitably going to find a few worms down in the bottom. Always in all my systems, a few worms will hang out here. I'm not exactly sure why. I think it probably has to do with, there's lots of oxygen down here on the bottom that's coming through this fabric, through the zipper, and they're getting food by the water that leaches through the system. There's a lot of nutrients in that water, so there's enough food down there for them to survive, and they got plenty of oxygen, so I think they just hang out there. But for the most part, the next 6 or 7 inches will be pretty much worm-free.